Why no known members of Yoda's species have turned to the dark side in either legends or in canon. Across thousands of years, we've seen heroes fall to the dark side. Humans, Twi'leks, even Syrians have produced Sith Lords. But there is one mysterious species that seems to be an exception. In all of recorded Star Wars history, we have never been introduced to a single Sith from Yoda's species. So why is this? Is it something in their biology that makes them resistant? Or is it a carefully guarded culture? This pattern is so consistent, it demands a closer look. Before we begin, if you like our content and want more answers to Star Wars questions like these, consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon to stay up to date. As stated before, we know very little about Yoda's species. This was an intentional choice made by George Lucas, as he wanted to keep their origins a secret. The working in-universe theory is that Yoda knew his people were peaceful and not equipped to handle galactic war being brought to their doorstep. Something else important to note is that every single member we're aware of appears to be Force-sensitive. This consistency across such a small sample size is our central clue. In the current canon, we know of three members. First, there's Grand Master Yoda, who lived for 900 years. His wisdom was legendary, and his midi-chlorian count was stated to be exceptionally high, giving him a profound connection to the Force. The next member of Yoda's species that we know of in canon is Jedi Master Yaddle. She served on the Jedi Council and was known for her kindness and patience, as well as her knowledge of rare Force abilities. Finally, there is Grogu, introduced in The Mandalorian. At 50 years old, he's still an infant, which shows us just how slowly this species matures. Grogu is, like the rest mentioned, exceptionally gifted with the Force, but he is not a trained Jedi and uses his power from a place of emotion, mostly to protect his father figure, Din Djarin. Moving on to Legends content, the pattern holds. We meet Master Vandar Takare from the Old Republic era, Master Oteg from the Great Galactic War, and Jedi Knight Minch, who existed around 700 years before the films. Every known example, without exception, was drawn to the light side. This isn't just a trend, it's a remarkable pattern that requires an explanation. This leads us to our first major theory, that the answer lies in biology. Could it be that Yoda's species is naturally predisposed to the light side? A good theory is that the answer can be found in their lifespan. Yoda lived for 9 centuries, and a 50-year-old specimen like Grogu is still an infant. Because of their lifespan, the universe exists in a different perspective to them. They don't need to take a quick and easy path, because they have time to spend honing their skills in the right way, the light side. The temptations of the Sith, power, instant gratification, are often born from impatience. For a being who sees decades pass like years, that temptation loses its edge. Furthermore, their strong connection to the Force seems inherent. Every known member is Force-sensitive, suggesting it's a biological trait. While we only have a few examples, this consistency points to an intense, intrinsic link to the Force from birth. Some older Legends-era reference materials even mention a subbrain, unique to the species, that might be linked to this connection, though this is not a feature in current canon. One theory suggests this unique biology may make them more attuned to the living Force, the energy of life itself. If their bodies are fundamentally tied to the aspect of creation, it would make them biologically resistant to the dark side, which is rooted in death and destruction. They may feel anger or fear, but their very nature might default toward balance and life. But what if the answer isn't biological, but philosophical? This leads to our second major theory. The species is protected by a secretive culture that has perfected raising its young to resist the dark side. The secrecy itself is the main piece of evidence. Yoda was notoriously quiet about his origins, and we have no name for his species or its homeworld. This could be evidence of a cultural mandate of extreme isolationism, a way to shield their people from the corrupting influence of the galaxy. By raising their children in a cloistered environment, they could instill a foundational commitment to the light side. This speculative culture appears to be built on compassion. In a legend story from the comic Yaddle's Tale, she was imprisoned for nearly a century after her master fell to the dark side in minutes. Even under these circumstances, Yaddle held true and did not succumb to the allure of the dark side, instead growing her connection to the light. If there were ever a moment when a Jedi might have given in, it would have been here. She even forgave the people who held her captive. That level of resilience hints at a core cultural value of mastering emotions through empathy, not detachment. Yoda, Yaddle, and Grogu have all demonstrated immense care for others, an anchor that keeps them grounded. This theory suggests that from birth, their natural longevity is reinforced by a philosophy that venerates patience and empathy, creating a near-perfect shield. We're diving deep into one of Star Wars' greatest mysteries. If you're enjoying this exploration of the Force and the lore, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss our future deep dives. Of course, members of Yoda's species are not immune to dark emotions, and there are cases that test their resolve. The most prominent example is we've seen him use Force Choke, an ability tied to the dark side. He used it when he misunderstood an arm wrestling match between Din Djarin and Cara Dune, and later when he was captured. These acts are born from fear and attachment, the same emotions that twisted Anakin Skywalker. Ahsoka Tano even sensed this fear in Grogu and was hesitant to train him. These moments prove that members of the species can touch the dark side when provoked. Even Grand Master Yoda was not wholly immune. In the Legends novel Yoda Dark Rendezvous, Count Dooku asked his former master to join him. To show Dooku the reality of what he was asking, Yoda briefly opened himself to the dark side, giving Dooku a glimpse of the immense and terrible power a Darth Yoda would wield. Later, on the Sith world of Moraband in Star Wars The Clone Wars, Yoda confronted a dark phantom of himself, a manifestation of his own doubt. These instances show that the potential for darkness exists within them. In Legends, Jedi Knight Minch came the closest to falling. While hunting a dark Jedi, he gave in to his anger during a final duel. Although he was victorious, the story says his rage corrupted the cave where the battle took place. The same cave Luke Skywalker would later enter on Dagobah. Even though Minch was able to reclaim his stance in the light, his story is the closest we ever see a member of Yoda's species truly falter. So now we return to our original question. Why have none of Yoda's species ever given themselves fully to the dark side? The evidence suggests it's not a single factor, but a powerful combination of biology and culture, nature and nurture. Their biology gives them a profound head start. An incredible lifespan fosters patience, and a deep, innate connection to the Force provides a natural alignment with the light. They are born with a predisposition that makes the Jedi path feel natural. However, this is not an immunity. This foundation is reinforced by what we can speculate is a powerful, hidden culture. This philosophy likely teaches its members to master their emotions through wisdom and empathy. They are taught to see the galaxy from a long-view perspective and to value life and connection. This combination creates a formidable defense. While they can feel fear and anger, their entire being, from their biology to their philosophy, is oriented toward the light. One final, more esoteric theory suggests they may be direct manifestations of the Force, created to bring balance. The fact that Grogu was born in the same year as Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, lends a fascinating cosmic weight to this idea. This, however, is purely a fan theory. The mystery remains. George Lucas intended for this species to be an enigma, but the pattern is clear. A unique biology, likely reinforced by a secret culture, has made them the most steadfast champions of the light the galaxy has known. Well, friends, what do you think of this explanation? Do you believe that at one time there was a Sith of Yoda's species that we are currently not aware of? Let me know your theories in the comments down below.